Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's not beat around the bush. A lot of shit has happened already. 1. This month went by a little too damn fast. 2. I did not drop any Kokatsu story at all until today. So, yeah, this was not necessarily great. Also, thinking about the story, trying to craft different ways of where I wanted to go was also part of the problem, as well as trying to do something else for the Kokatsu was, trying to plan that out, but that didn't really work out the way I wanted to. So that was also an issue of why this damn thing came out to the last damn day of the month. So that's also a whole thing. So yeah, but we're here now. We don't have to worry about any waiting. We don't have to worry about missing a damn month of Kokatsu. I'll be damned if I do that. But when it comes down to it though, you don't get a damn episode. Be sure, it might be the last damn day, but you're getting a damn episode one per month at least. But when it comes down to it though, yeah, this is definitely something that I've been trying to cook up for a minute, trying to make sure I got the right details of story into, because I didn't want to just toss you anything, because I could easily do that, but I don't want to do that. I want to give you my best work. So that's why, I have to wait till now. Unfortunately, the same day as Final Fantasy VII, which, I'm trying to enjoy the shit out of that game before I get spoiled on anything, because I don't want to see shit. I'm going dark on Twitter. Don't absolutely hit me with anything unless it's something that you're going to send me, or some type of Kokatsu commission or something like that, or some dang money. When it comes down to it, don't send me anything. But when it comes down to it though, if you'd like to donate and help me out, because the bitch tax money is death, obviously you have like Kofi and Cash App if you would like to. I'm probably going to spam the shit out of both of those somewhere within this day, honestly. So if you would like to, donate anything, that would be absolutely helpful, because that helps me live for a little bit longer and you get more videos because bills are paid. But anyway, when it comes down to it though, last episode, if you just didn't remember what happened, because I mean it has been a month, when it comes down to it, essentially we finish off the Symphony arc and finish off everything that has to do with her on that whole journey. So now we're basically going into a whole new thing and basically seeing what the hell happens after the whole defeat of Symphony and Jade going to sleep for a few times. And then also you have, Blue's mom now in all this. So what the hell is happening? You're about to find out. So to start things off, first of all, you got Konako and Sage on top of this roof. And essentially Konako is like, how long will it be until she arrives? And so Sage is like, it should be any moment now. And so a girl walked through the roof entrance. And so Sage is like, there she is. And so Symphony is just like coming through with this new ass design. And she's like, sorry I'm late. I'm still getting used to moving since I've been asleep for a while. And so Sage is like, it's fine. It has been 2 weeks since that situation. And so Symphony just like, speaking of which, how is he? His brainwaves were all over the place when we brought him to the hospital. They were in a constant move until a few days ago, where it seemed to slow down. If my theory is correct, once it's stabilized, he'll begin to wake up soon. And so Konako just like, at least that's what we're hoping for. You were in a similar place and you got up okay and healed up nicely. And so Symphony just like, he wouldn't have to be in that position if he didn't save me. Which is why I know I can't just apologize for what happened and expect forgiveness. I don't even know if I have the right to stand here right now. If Jay heard you like that, he'd definitely bop you. Yes, it was a hassle, but you deserved help too. And so Konako just like, I'm not saying you're completely in the clear, but anyone could fall in a position like that. And so Symphony's just like, still. And so Konako just like, if you want to make amends, you can do something for the very people who have faith in you. And so Symphony's like, and what would that be? And so you end up seeing Blue and just sitting in this student council room. And so Konako just continues on with her narration like, Blue, she can really use someone by her side right now. And so I'll entrust her to you. And as you see, Blue's expression, you quickly shift over to see, Shizuka right there. Her mom right there on some non-effing sense. So it is definitely not a good time over there. So we go into Act 2. And you obviously see both Blue and Shizuka both sitting basically kind of together, but in silence a little bit. And so Shizuka's like, how long must we keep silence like this? And so Blue doesn't say a word. And so Blue finally does look up a little bit and smile because she saw Symphony come through the damn door. And so Symphony just like, I'm sorry for running late. It's been a while since I was awake. And so Shizuka doesn't know anything what's going on. She's just like, and who are you? And so Symphony just like, Symphony Bohart. I was told to come here and see what's what. From what I've heard, things haven't been progressing at all. And so Shizuka just like, that is one way of putting it. That said, Blue, I understand why you ran away. Your father and I have been through a rough patch for a while, and we should have considered how you felt. And I apologize. And Blue just sitting there pissed off. She's just like, is that all? Shizuka kind of goes on down this long ass speech, and she's just like, you don't understand what it is like trying to put up with a cheating and lying man like him. I wanted the family to stay together, but every time I try, he would keep up with his excuses. I was no better, and I kept getting drunk just to escape his madness. I became less of a mother and more of a monster, which led us taking your money that you earned off the street with your friends and wasted it. Having my sisters to babysit you and doing my job as a mom because I went mad too. And I'm sorry for that too. The moment we found out you left, I regretted everything and wanted nothing but to make it up to you. Seems like I've gotten it. I just want to bring you home so we can start over again. As a family. And so Blue is just in shock and awe when it comes down to this. Because not what Shizuka said, more so of what she didn't say. And so Blue just like, so, you didn't know then. And so Symphony just like, why the hell didn't you just leave the bastard? And so Shizuka like, if I did, then Blue wouldn't have a father figure in her life. And so Symphony just like, well, she clearly never had a mother figure either. You think you know your own daughter, but you couldn't be even more of a stranger. What in the world could you possibly know? In fact, I didn't ask for your input. Once we return home, I will be there for my daughter. And so Symphony was hella confused. She was like, return home? Wait, you don't know? And so as she was about to explain the whole point of the safe haven and what's going on with all this stuff, essentially, she ends up feeling a force that was outside of the school, essentially. She was feeling something that was coming their way. And essentially, Symphony just like, hey Blue, you felt that, right? And so Blue was just like, yes. It's different though. And so Shizuka was hella confused because she doesn't know what the hell's going on with all the powers and shit. And so she's like, wait, what? What's going on? What are you two talking about? And so Symphony just getting annoyed at Shizuka at this point. She's just like, ugh, I don't have time for you. I'm going on ahead to the front of the school and get everyone as I go. And Shizuka just still asking questions and shit and just needing some damn answers. And she's like, answer me when I'm talking to you. And so Symphony is like, shut the hell up and stay put. You'll die if you get in our way. Blue, come quick. And so Symphony leaves the room because she knows what's about to happen, or at least what's about to go down. And so essentially Shizuka is trying to stop Blue from leaving, and she's like, no, you aren't going anywhere. I came all this way to find you, and I refuse for you to run again. And so she's like, I understand your defiance, but this needs to stop now. And so Blue starts having those headaches again. And if you remember, anytime Blue puts her hand on her head, something not great is about to happen. And so Blue to herself is like, understand? She doesn't understand anything. And so Blue's trying to say out loud to her own mom is like, please, just leave me alone. And so Shizuka's like, you turn around right now. And so Blue just had enough of this shit. And obviously, suddenly, the despair in the room just started to fill everything. And even Shizuka felt it. And as the despair filled the room, all you saw was Blue turning around and facing her own mother with the damn demon spiked bat that she has. And so Shizuka was shocked at this sight. She was like, Blue? What happened? And so the spare Blue is out here to play now. She ain't here to F around with even her own mother. So when it comes down to it, Blue now is just like, you don't know anything. I didn't give a damn about you and father fighting. As long as I had my guitar, I couldn't care less. And so Shizuka's like, Blue. But then Blue kind of comes through and she's just like, but Aunt Zella, I hope she rots in a fucking grave. Until you figure it out, go fuck off. And so she leaves immediately. Damn, I want this aggressive Blue. Imagine this aggressive Blue in bed. Holy shit. Anyway, point is, after she leaves, Shizuka falls to the ground because she didn't understand what the hell was going on. And so Shizuka's just like, Blue, why? What did Zella do? No. It couldn't happen. What have I done? And so yeah, she's finally understanding what the hell is kind of happening. What is the nonsense that is at play here? Then we finally get into the next act, and essentially they go into the front of the school. Blue, Symphony, and Aoki ends up seeing a beaten and tortured Saratome. She's just on the ground, knocked the hell out. And so Aoki, obviously spending the most time with her, is basically just freaking the hell out that she's seeing the sight of what her former teacher, or really still her teacher, is looking like right now. And so she's just like, Miss Saratome. And so immediately Aoki just started running to her side. But as she was running to her side, a powerful force immediately starts descending to them at a great speed. And Blue caught on and she was like, this. And so Symphony's just like, Aoki, it's a trap! And so essentially, while Aoki was trying to run to Saratome, being distracted at the moment, her emotions basically catching on her, it was already too late. Because Aoki was like, huh? And so Shitoya comes through, which is the person that did this to Saratome. And so she's like, so this was the secret you were hiding, Kaiho. Foolish. And so Shitoya exerted all her force right at Aoki and pushed her ass back so damn hard, she ended up cracking her effing back on the damn stone brick staircase that's at the front of the school, completely whooping her ass. So Symphony just screaming at Aoki right now, seeing if she's okay. But Shitoya was just like, two beings compromised to despair, one more than another. It doesn't matter. All of Kaiho's creations will fall to the light. Your existence shouldn't be in the first place. And so Blue already had enough of what was going on, and she just says, reject. And so she basically tries to reject Shitoya, but for the first time, and honestly what feels like forever, Shitoya was not effing with this shit. Shitoya was like, this power, unstable, and too wild, and it lacks control. Then I'll gladly shape it into my own weapon. And so Shitoya bounced Blue's rejection back at her, which caught Blue off guard and rattled her mind, which also knocked her the hell out. So Blue was done. Blue was out of it. GG's for Blue. GG's for Blue. And so Symphony just like, Blue? And so Shitoya's just like, you dare to oppose me as well. And so Symphony to herself is already like, oh hell no. Basically, because if Blue's rejects can get pushed back to her, what the hell is happening here? How am I supposed to fight this shit? So basically, Symphony to herself is like, this bitch just took them out like it's nothing. If she's someone that knows Saratome, then I may die trying to fight her seriously. And then as she's thinking to herself about what she should do, Koneko, through Sage with her telepathic powers, started to speak through to Symphony. And so Koneko's just like, which is why I'll handle this. Just get out of the area, and when you're clear, take the fall into the infirmary. And so Symphony's just like, you think you can beat her? And so Koneko's just like, no, but I won't let her have her way. And so the communication ends, and so Symphony's just like, fine. Symphony does what she's told, and she uses her biologic powers to boost her leg strength to jump up out the way so she can get on top of the damn roof and hang from the ledge of the roof. Which, yeah, that will hell get you out the way in time. But when it comes down to it though, Symphony just hanging on top of the damn roof, and she's just like, you better know what you're doing, because I sure as hell don't. But Symphony basically looks down at the fallen eyelash that she had on the ground, and she told you just looking straight up at her like she wanted the damn smoke, honestly. And so she told you just like, running away, are we? I expected nothing less from Kaiho's creations. And so Konako comes out the door of the damn school entrance, and so she's like, no, she did what I asked her to. And so Konako stepped outside and saw the carnage of that Shitoya ended up causing. And so Shitoya was like, another one? Just how many creations does this place have? And so Konako just walking towards slowly, walking past Aoki, walking up on Blue's body. Judging by your color scheme, you know about purity. And so Shitoya just like, of course I know of it. Someone like you should heed its power and my words. Lay down and die. You weren't born naturally in this world. Rather, you were summoned here. Beings like this, not created by light, must be disposed of immediately. Your resistance is already proof of despair. Don't make this any harder than necessary. And so Konako just looking at this girl, and she's already fed up immediately, especially with her previous conversation with Yukari about this whole thing with light and despair and all this stuff. You know, I'm getting tired of all this purity and despair crap. The only thing that is being disposed of is you and these forced choices. And if you don't care, that's fine. It means I can beat the shit out of you until you leave us alone. So Konako just ready to fight and throw hands. Symphony just looking from above, and she's just like, she really is about to fight her. Given the odds of her winning is... No, don't say it. I gotta believe it in her, though I wish Jay was awake right now to stop this. And so Konako, without any hesitation, kicked the blade that Shitoya had, and sparks started to fly. And Konako to herself was thinking, Jay's always the one protecting me, protecting everyone. I can't help but to feel useless every time he's fighting so hard to keep me safe. That's why I'll see this fight to the end. So yeah, Konako and Shitoya are about to throw hands. Though with Shitoya being the being that she is, what the hell is Konako gonna do? We'll find out later. Anyway, so we end up going to the infirmary to see Jay, to see also Shion and where Sage is at. While Konako is fighting Shitoya, Sage and Shion is protecting Jay while in the hopes that he will wake up. And so Shion is just kind of crying to herself at the moment, even though she doesn't really fully understand why. But Sage is like, he wouldn't want to see you in tears. And so Shion is like, I don't know why I'm crying so much, but my heart aches for him. And so Sage is like, you're still getting to know your emotions. I know you miss him and growing to love him too. And so Shion is just not saying anything. And Sage is like, have you continued to try to pray to wake him? Maybe with that feeling of longing for him, you can reach him like you did before. And so Shion tries to pray again, even though for a while it has not really been working, honestly. But she tries anyway, and she stood in silence, clearing her mind as if her body and herself was pretty much asleep, and blocked out essentially everything that could be a distraction for her. And so Shion is like, please, whatever force is out there, please wake him up. I never felt this way before, to care about someone like this before. Which is why I want him saved. I want to understand purity, but be with him as I learn. He's the only person that can understand me. And so the voice from before finally responds to what Shion is praying for. He will be just fine. That is why I chose not to answer you. Instead of worrying over him, take care to consider yourself. And so Shion is just like, what are you? And so the voice says, a force that existed beyond the regular flow of time. Someone who has always been with you from the beginning of your life and had saved you in that village from death. I am Nyx. And so Shion was surprised at the name and heard also another new voice. And so basically Shion saw another Shion and was hella confused. And so Shion was like, what? is this? And so the copycat Shion, what that will refer to, the not Shion lady, is essentially just like someone to help make your dream come true. It's a pleasure to meet you, Shion. Or maybe I should say Nyx's reincarnation. And so Shion was surprised even further, and she was again confused about this whole situation because this is the first time she ever heard of this. And so she was like, "What? Did you call me?" And so essentially, the other Shion who was just smiling, and she's just like, "Throughout my time exploring the infinite void of dreams, I never thought I would find the Mother of Night." And so as she says that, the fake Shion transformed into someone else, a woman that was brimming with confidence and the same damn markings that even Shion has. And so Shion calls it out saying, "Your chest." And so the person that is basically with her right now is like saying, "I've had it for as long as I can remember. Is it familiar to you?" And then she started to put her hand out and attune Jay's mind to get him back into regular shape. And so Shion is like, "Those markings are inked into my back." And so the girl says, "Then we are the same, huh?" And so Shion is like, "What are you?" She ends up saying, "I'm not sure myself. All I know is that purity and despair are strange powers, aren't they? Very few have been chosen to use it. I guess you can say I am someone who wants to see this power used freely by people who are not worthy but true to themselves." And that's all you get off of this right now. That is the only thing you get off of this whole situation when it comes to this new character, this new lady, who honestly I had thought about for a long ass time now. But when it comes down to it, that's all you're getting for now. You'll see her when the time comes. You'll see her when the time comes. I'll reveal the model very soon, but you'll see her when the time comes. Anyway, we go back to the fight with Konako, and Konako right now is just dodging every last attack Shitoya has thrown out, and it's been hard for her. Somehow she's been dodging it, but she's been dodging it. So Shitoya is just like, if dodging is all you can do, you may as well surrender. Though, I am slightly impressed you can keep up. Still, I won't give an inch to Kaiho's machinations. And so Konako just getting again fed up with this whole situation, and she's just like, "I am not one of her creations. I don't fight for her, and I really don't care about what the both of you are fighting about." And so Shitoya's just like, "What are you talking about? You're the one who's..." And so as she says that, Konako completely cut her off. And so Konako's just like, "Just shut up! Why do people like Jay have to suffer? Why? Because he's attached to this so-called purity that he has to answer for everyone's problems? That's bullshit." And so Shitoya just like, "The next chosen warrior is here? You're lying. You really have no shame." She doesn't... So what that obviously means, she doesn't believe that Jay is actually here. She doesn't believe that, the next person that has the power of purity actually exists here. She's thinking that this is also, Saratome's bullshit. And so when it comes down to it, she gets her ass back up and is ready to strike Konako down. And so Shitoya's like, "In the name of the light, you will be cut down from your lies." And so Konako to herself is at this point kind of screwed, because she's like, "Damn it, my body won't let me move around anymore. Why can't I do anything when I need to the most? I'm always the one who needs to be saved." And so as she's about to get straight, her life basically flashed in front of her, and she's in the same afterlife purgatory place that Jay was in not too long ago. And so Konako was like, "After everything, I can never reach where you are. You aren't even in possession of any powers before this world, and yet you still fought to protect what you love. Why? Why was I even brought here? Am I nothing but an idea brought to life just to be scrapped? No. Even ideas can give people hope and dreams, yet I can't give either to anyone, especially the person I agreed to be with. I just want to reach him. So why can't I? What am I good for? Jay saved me so many times, and this once, just this once, I want him to know that he can rely on me. I want to be stronger for him. I want to be stronger for everyone who needs me around. I want to be stronger for myself. And as she thought that, for that one moment, the air around her, as well as her soul, suddenly started to change and shift. And in an instant, that drive that she had awakened something in her. And as you can see, them eyes are a bit different from the yellow golden eyes that we all know Konako has. And she says, I will be stronger. And so Shitoya ends up stopping her attack and noticed the immediate change that happened in Konako. And so Shitoya was hella confused. And so she was like, those colors, that is not possible. You weren't meant to have those powers. And so Konako just like, even so, I do now. Because I understand what is important to me. And if you think you're gonna take Jay away from me, then I'll fight you to protect the person I love. And so in a crazy ass twist, yes, Konako has the power of purification. How? Why? Where is this coming from? Shitoya to herself is like, the way she was created, she shouldn't be able to have this power. Unless she isn't Kaiho's creation. I have never seen something like this before. What is this? And so Shitoya is intrigued at this now more than ever. And so she's like, if you truly wish to stand by this Jay's side, then you better show me your worth. And so Konako dashed at Shitoya with speed that she never had before. And so Konako's like, I'll show you how strong I am. I'll show you the love and strength we both have. So they continue to fight. And as they're fighting, they end up dragging this fight to the sports yard. And so Konako is doing her best trying to keep up with Shitoya, who hasn't yet to honestly put in any real effort of the fight. And it was honestly almost as if she was observing this fight more than she was actually trying to fight herself. And so when it comes down to it, Konako somehow tries to pull Shitoya's body right towards her by force, and Shitoya wasn't even expecting this shit. She was like, what? And so Konako just forms up this ball of energy in her hands, and she was like, it's over! And so she basically slammed her fist right into Shitoya with her hand covered in that light energy of purity, and also her Nekomata energy as well. And so she screams, I'm not done yet! And so she basically forms like Vegito with this big ass energy sword that goes straight through Shitoya's body and just completely eviscerates this woman. It's actually insane. Where the hell was this power coming from, Konako? So anyway, Shitoya was actually getting hurt a little bit, and she was like, enough! And so basically she forced Konako to finally get pushed back and just, get a bit of distance between them. And so Shitoya started panting, and she was actually getting a little tired. She was like, I must admit, for someone that is new to this power, you can keep up. A crude imitation, but impressive. And so Konako just like, this isn't any imitation. My feelings are real. But let me ask you something. If this power is so important, why did 9 other people die before my husband? What even is the point of the Guardians that failed to do their job? And so Shitoya's like, you really don't know anything. And she puts away her own blade, kind of, signifying that the fight is pretty much over. We did everything in our power to assist our chosen leader, but every time they fall into the whims of despair, no matter our inputs. And so Konako getting snippy, and she's just like, sounds like your group weren't cut for the job. And so Shitoya's like, and what is that supposed to mean exactly? And so Konako starts walking towards her like a woman on a mission. It means people continue to fall in the spirit's way of life, and everyone that has ever opposed him ends up losing their lives. You give input on fighting such a monster, yet know nothing about it yourselves. which means having a power like this means certain death. Both sides forces the person in an unwinnable situation and never gives that wielder a choice in the matter. You don't care about what they want. You just want to satisfy your own ends. And so she tell you just like, so you rather the entirety of the multiverse dies. And so Konako is getting really in her face now, and she's just pissed at this woman. She's like, I'm saying give these people a fucking choice. If everyone is gonna be faced with death, they shouldn't have to be forced down one path but their own. This is exactly why people lose faith in beings like you. And so she tells you it's like, and if they choose to do their own thing, everyone dies. So Konako at this point is just unbelievably angry, and she's just like, you don't know that! I won't let Jay die! And so basically for that moment when she just screamed all that after the fact, all you felt was a force in the entire area, a familiar force that hits them both. And so they look into the direction where it is, and so she told you just like, purity, at last. And so Konako's like, is that really? And so essentially, Konako starts crying at the sight of this, and so she's just like, Jay, is that you? And so basically, standing in the distance is the lad, is the boy, and Jay just sitting there in his purified form. He didn't say a damn word, but he just jumped down, looking at these hoes like, it's time. And so he jumps down, and essentially, as he jumped down, Konako immediately just starts running towards him, screaming his name, and essentially both of them embraced each other and just enjoyed the company of both of them being together once again after the damn 2 weeks of them being separated. And so Konako's just like, it really is you. I'm so happy to see you again. And so Jay just like, Konako, I'm happy to see you too. You changed a lot too. And so he basically looked up at Shitoya and was like, and I see even more changes that happened. And so basically Jay and Shitoya just stared at each other at a distance. Shitoya didn't say a damn word, but she looked awful concerned. And from that point, that is where we'll end the damn story. I know, a lot of shit has happened this episode. Whew. I hope this recording come out good, because I ain't gonna lie, I do not want to do it again. I had to hold my arm, just hold my phone trying to record all this stuff. Much less, you know, it's cold in this back room. It's supposed to be summer. Why is it cold as hell? Granted, I'd rather it be cold than hot, but still nonetheless. When it comes down to it though, a lot of shit happened in this damn episode. First of all, let's break down some things. One, the whole thing with Blue and her despair form just shit talking her own mom, which that's the whole thing. Two, the fact that Shion is more than what we thought she was, right? It explains the reason as to why she was locked away in the damn, you know, prism of purity for like a long ass time. The damn, you know, paradise place that she was trapped in for thousands of years. And it also explains why she came back to life when she's supposedly supposed to die, right? Because she's literally a reincarnation of a Greek, I believe, a Greek goddess when it comes down to it, you know, Nyx. So that's also like a thing. And the fact that she's the reincarnation of that, what the hell does that mean? I have no damn clue. But when it comes down to it though, it's hella intriguing, all the more or less. And it honestly could make you think a little bit more. It maybe you're thinking, wait, so if Nyx's darkness and just the entirety of the dark and night, and that's what Shion is now, then, you know, it's like, does that mean despair comes from Shion? What is happening here? Again, you'll have to pay attention to the story to kind of figure out what the hell goes on. And then also the fact that Konako used purification, right? And don't get me wrong, Konako has the power of purification just in her Nekomata form, but not this level of purification. So this is a whole new ballpark when it comes down to it. So what the hell happened here? How the hell did she even get this form? That's a whole nother question that we gotta answer when it comes down to it. And at the same time, you're also probably wondering, wait, when was this a thing? Why did she have it? Honestly, it's very simple. If you look back at some of the previous episodes, you might end up seeing one moment where you're like, oh, did this have anything to do with it? Did she had an interaction with Purity like this, and this is what happened? So just, you know, keep in mind, there's been moments where she has been around Jay in his purified form, But there's one moment in particular where she ends up having a way of getting it. So, you know, you have to look back at the old episodes, and that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, that's essentially all this stuff that has happened in this episode. I'm sorry again for it coming out so damn late, and you know, not necessarily providing this, you know, in a better, timely manner. Just, you know, it's just been a lot this month, honestly. And then also, you know, trying to figure out what I wanted to do in Kakatsu this month, as well as, you know, the whole money situation and things of the sort. Honestly, again, if I could just have a decent, like, stable amount of money just come through, which is why I would like to have sponsors or some damn body to come through just to, you know, help me every single month. I wouldn't have to worry so damn much about, oh my gosh, where's the money coming from? I can't focus on Kakatsu. I can't focus on, you know, whatever else I want to do for content. I can't focus on just living life normally or drawing and stuff like that too. It's just like, I can't focus on anything because that's always in the way and I'm always getting nagged about that. So unfortunately, that kind of also has to be a contributing factor to it, which is why, again, if you do have a, you know, PayPal or something of the sort where you could give to Kofi or Cash App, that would be, you know, incredibly helpful when it comes down to it. So again, not just trying to say all this stuff to be hella annoying, but that is kind of true. It is what it is at this moment. So, you know, if you got anything that you can donate to, that would be very much helpful. And yeah, that's essentially all I got for this one. So hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification on the way out. Also follow me on socials, and if you'd like to donate to the channel, Kofi and Cash App again is available as well. And also follow me on, you know, Twitter when it comes down to it. If you'd like to get a Kakatsu commission as well, DM me as well, because that's also something I'm doing. You know, if you just want something first, if you want to send money but you want something from me, that's the way to do it. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and until then, it's Jay, sign off. Have a blessed day.